Hi, it's Kifin Lebates here, and Mateus Parmesan Bergamasco, hope I pronounced that correctly, from Brazil, asked me a question about trust and transparency in corporations, because this is becoming a big deal to people. In the past, companies went about their nefarious ways and tried to hide misdemeanors, and then when they got caught out, they would apologize and pay fines, and people kind of just put up with it. But now we're seeing more and more people getting more and more upset about this kind of behavior. And Mateus's question there ties into, could blockchain, in which transparency is often important and in which trust is often important, feed into this and somehow provide a solution? I'm guessing that's what his question is, because it finally ended with, what's your opinion on all of this? Well, I think there's two things I'd like to say here. One is that blockchain and trust is something that's a bit misunderstood. You can say that a blockchain builds trust. You can also actually say that a blockchain is trustless, that it removes the need for trust. And that's quite a complex distinction. And I would actually go with the latter, that the aim behind blockchain is not about building trust, it's about removing the need for trust, of making something that is unreliable and where you have to rely on trust to become something that is deterministic. And that's a very different beast altogether. So the second thing about transparency, yes, blockchains like Bitcoin provide a full ledger of all the transactions, and that's transparent. However, there are blockchains out there that are not transparent, that are privacy preserving, such as Monero or Zcash. So it's not implicit in a blockchain that it has to be transparent. And therefore, I see a bit of a disconnect with the question. But I do agree that there is a problem with transparency and trust in companies. And I think the problem is not one of technology, it's one of company culture. The fact is that some companies out there don't own up to stuff that they've done wrong until they're caught out, at which point it's not a confession, it's a version of damage control. So I'm thinking here, for example, about Facebook and the Cambridge Analytica scandal. They didn't own up to it until they were found out, and that's not confessing. That's a PR attempt to try and mitigate the damage that and the fallout from the bad behavior and not doing something about it earlier. And that kind of stuff can only be overcome if a company does something about the way that its culture, the way that the company is, because companies are kind of a reflection of the aims and drives of the people within it, especially the leaders. They are supposed to be leading by example. So I don't see how blockchain is going to fix the problem of bad leaders. And I think I'll leave it at that, because I've nearly hit 3 minutes. Anyway, I hope that was interesting for you, Mateus. Thanks for the question. The rest of you, feel free to ask away, and I'll see you all in the next video soon. Bye for now.